Hi, it's Aubrey from Diib. Increasing your site speed can have a big impact on conversions. In this webinar, we'll show you ways to optimize your site so that you can improve your speed score and make an even better customer experience for folks visiting your site.
So there's a lot of things that go into a faster loading website. So the first thing that we really want to talk to you about is image optimization. So image optimization is probably the most important tool that you have in terms of making your website faster. So compressing your images before uploading them is the easiest way to make it faster. There's this great tool called Short Pixel that I use to compress images, and I'll show you how I do that. So let's go to Short Pixel and let's go to Unsplash and download um, a really huge image. So let's do this one. This one looks like it has a lot of, it looks like it's going to be a big picture when we download. So I'm going to download a medium. And I'm going to go over to this tool here and upload my image. So we can see that it's 775 kilobytes, which is pretty big. I'm just going to let a short pixel do its job, and it takes a second. So it looks like it's taken about 74.66% off that picture. So let's actually download it and see how big it is. So by running that through an image compressor, I've taken it down from 775 kilobytes to 196 kilobytes. Ideally, your pictures that you upload to your website should be about 100 to 200 kilobytes, depending on how big they are. If you're using a big hero image, like a banner on a page, it's going to naturally be a little bit bigger. Product photos should be about 100 kilobytes. So when you have like let's say you're an e-commerce store owner, you upload 20 pictures to your product library, you have 20 products on a page, that'll balance the size out about right. So when you compress your images, ideally between 100 and 200 kilobytes is the ideal image size. um we used lossless compression on that. Lossless compression is key because it results in zero loss in image quality. You can also do lossy. It'll take a little bit of it'll take a little bit of the quality out of your picture, but it'll still be pretty good. So try to do either lossless or lossy compression when you are using short pixel for your image optimization. Questions about image optimization?
So can that tool also do the WebP format?
Okay, we'll move on to the next part of the presentation. Mobile first web design. So certain platforms like WordPress, using Elementor and Thrive let you hide certain elements on your mobile or desktop. You can hide a hero image on mobile, and your website will perform better on mobile devices. So let me show you an example of how that works. So this is a website called Rodent Control. So as you can see, the banner is a big picture, and the contact form takes a little bit of time to load. But what we've done on mobile is we've actually made a nice mobile version of the website. The background picture goes away, and we move the free estimate and the call now actions down here. So ultimately what happens is you have a better mobile experience and the site loads faster. This is a good technique to do if you have if you want to feature an image on your homepage, but you want a faster mobile experience. Questions about mobile first web design? Okay, let's move on to the next part then. So third-party apps and scripts. Certain platforms such as live chat can make your website slower. Consider hiding these on your homepage and other important pages on your website. This is an important consideration because many businesses put these on their website without realizing what the implications of what they'll do to their website speed. So let me show you a way that you can add things to your website without the code bloat. So I'm going to go to Google Tag Manager real quick. So Google Tag Manager is actually a script that you add to your site. And what it does is it lets you put third-party things on your website. It lets you add tracking codes from Google. It lets you do a lot of different things. But for sites that use live chat, um, it's beneficial because you can put your third-party apps and scripts inside of Google Tag Manager. So let me find an example of a website where we've done that. So Candle Link is a good one. So on Candle Ink, what we do is there's a live chat widget that we have on there. Um, it's called Lambot. And basically what we found is that when we put this script on the website, it loaded a lot slower. So we went in and added it in Tag Manager, and we just picked the pages we wanted to fire the tag to fire on, and we added the script for the chat bot there. So the it's good to use Tag Manager if you're going to be using third-party apps and scripts that slow down your website considerably. Let's jump back to the deck. Is there are there any questions about third-party apps and scripts? Okay. Let's move on to videos. Videos can be part of a good website experience, but consider loading them in ways that don't compromise your site speed, such as having the autoplay off or having the video open up in a pop-up. So there's a trick to this. So the website's loaded, right? So what we've done on here is instead the video used to be right here. Basically what we did was we added the video in the pop-up. So essentially what this is doing is the rest of the web page is loading. And when I open the pop-up, the video can load on its own. So we're not making the website call the video from YouTube when the page is trying to load. That's the important part here. Any questions about videos? Okay, so this is about the best Shopify and WordPress themes for speed. And I realize that not everybody uses Shopify or WordPress. A lot of people use Wix, a lot of people use other things, but if you're a store owner on Shopify, I found that Debutify and Turbo are free themes that you can use for making your Shopify site fast. They're great, and they have a good user experience, and they're very easy to use. If you're on WordPress, consider using Astra, Sydney, or Ocean's WP. Should you use a caching plugin? Caching is usually something that is done to make your website load a little bit faster. It should be done as a last resort after you have compressed images and employed mobile first website design. And then use these plugins at your own risk because on a self-hosted WordPress install, these can potentially break things. So if you do want to use a caching plugin, I recommend something called WP Rocket. This is a paid subscription, and it has all these cool things in it. So this is what caching does. Caching basically takes a picture of how your website loads and then sends that to the browser as it loads the rest of the stuff, and it makes your website load faster. But WP Rocket is a very good one to use. There's some WordPress plugins that are independent, like there's WP Fastest Cache and Auto Optimize. I tend to stay away from those plugins because they're not really supported all that well, and they have a tendency to break things. WP Rocket is good. There's another one called Hummingbird that is also very good. So if you want to try caching, those are the plugins I would get, is WP Rocket and Hummingbird. Let's talk a little bit about next gen image formats. So these are if you ever go to a website and you try to download a picture and you get a WebP file, that's what a next gen image format is. Many platforms as a service CMSs like Shopify already convert your images to WebP files for you. And there are also WordPress plugins available for next generation image formats, but they do not always work well with some WordPress themes, mostly the self-hosted ones. If you're going to choose uh, uh, to use WebP files on your WordPress install, I would use WP Rocket again. It has something called Imagify that does this for you. So let me talk a little bit about some things to think about with uh, WebP files. So I'm going to go to this site real quick. And there's several different, I'm going to download an image. So as you can see, that's a WebP file and it's nice and fast. But the important thing to remember is even if you are on Shopify or you are using WebP files on your WordPress install, it's really important to compress your images before you upload them to the media library. And I'll show you why that is here by going to the file manager. So when you these are some images on here need to be compressed, but most of them are. The reason that you need to compress your pictures before you upload them to your website's media library is because you need to they need to be small, because the browser still has to convert that picture to a WebP file, and a larger image will slow that process down. So just keep that in mind when you're using WebP files is part of your strategy for uh, uh, a faster loading website. Are there any questions about next gen image formats? Okay, let's move on to the next piece. How much does a faster loading website help? It helps a little bit. If your website is new, you should focus on website speed in addition to creating content and backlinks. A speed score of 40 to 50 will suffice for most rankings. And then lastly, website speed is an important ranking factor, but not as important as content, links, or search intent. Next piece is recommended WordPress hosting providers. These are Flywheel, Kinsta, and WP engines, and I picked these because they're very they have world-class customer support. Um, I've been on the horn with Flywheel, and they've actually made changes to a client site for me. When I was chatting to them, I was like, "This is too slow," and they're like, "Oh, I can just go in and increase the PHP memory." So they're very good. Kinsta is also good. WP Engine is good, and some people will switch to these after they've been using something like GoDaddy WordPress hosting or something like that. But these are all very good WordPress hosting providers. And then the final thought section, I just put the three most important things for a faster loading website. Compress images first. Use the tag manager technique, or avoid using third-party apps and scripts that make your website heavier. And then if you're a WordPress user, consider using some of the WordPress hosting services for on that list for optimal site speed.
Thanks so much for watching, and thanks for being a part of Diib. Please reach out to us at support@diib.com if you have any questions. Have a great day.